Hello everyone, this is Lisa from Power Wheelchairs for Success, and today we're going to talk about the differences between a power wheelchair or an electrical wheelchair versus a scooter. I've used both, and I'll put up here some examples of what a scooter is and what a power wheelchair is. Just to summarize, a power wheelchair and a scooter, they work in a similar way. Their motors and their batteries are very similar. How you drive them is different. So I'm going to post here a picture of a scooter. So here we go. This is what a scooter looks like. It's a little bit longer in its design, and it also, you have to steer with both hands. So as you can see in the picture, there is a steering wheel, so you have to use both hands and to drive it around. I found that a little bit more difficult because if I was getting into tight spaces, I would have to kind of go forward and backward and forward and backward to kind of get through areas, certain areas. One of the benefits was it was a little bit more, I guess, stronger vehicle for going outside, but had less, let's say, well, the one I was using, it was a little bit more difficult going across cracks and holes and dips because it didn't have much give. So it was a bit more bumpier for me than the power wheelchair. Was much softer and has much more give in the wheels. The scooter I found more difficult for getting into elevators for sure. Just turning around, I would have to go into the elevator and just face the wall. unless I turned around and went into the elevator backwards, then I would be facing, the door forward. So it was much more trickier to use in the elevator. That kind of was bothersome because I was usually getting in the elevator with other people. So yes, the scooter was not quite what it was difficult for me to drive, going backwards and getting into tight spaces. So that was the scooter experience for me. I was using an older scooter, so the newer scooters that I have posted here might be better quality, but truly, for what I needed, the scooter was not adequate because I was using the transportation for indoors and outdoors. And now that I've said that, Medicare and other insurance companies require that if you're going to use a motorized vehicle for your mobility needs, it has to minimum, one of the qualifications is that minimum you have to use it in the home, not just outdoors. If you say, no, this would just be outdoors, then you might not qualify. So it has to be for indoors, because if you're saying to the insurance company, I have mobility issues, then that would be indoors and outdoors. They're assuming that. And that's how one of the ways you would qualify for using a motorized vehicle. Motorized scooter or power wheelchair. Now, I'm going to post some pictures here of power wheelchairs. There are a variety of designs and and we've talked about this before. The more simple power wheelchairs that don't do a whole lot other than you just drive them, sit in them. They don't move, they don't, their parts don't move much other than maybe the arms and the foot plate that goes up and down, and your joystick that might be able to move out of the way. The backrest might recline a little bit, but that's the more simple power wheelchair, like the one I use. Then we have the complex power wheelchairs that I'll be posting here. So here we go. And yes, those are the more complex for people who are quadriplegic or have other issues with dexterity and their legs, and can move a whole lot less due to spinal cord injury or disease. So the complex power wheelchairs do move a lot more of their parts, so that you can give some relief to how they're seated, or stretch out and give some relief to how their pain needs are, or the pressure in their bodies. So the complex power wheelchairs are just have more parts to them, and they're more movable, especially for those who are more complex in their needs. So those are the pictures of the complex power wheelchairs. So those are the big differences, folks. Again, the scooters are, I think the care and the usage of them are the same. However, the motorized scooters are longer in their design. So if you have like an open concept in your home and it's not going to be an issue, and you don't have an elevator and you're not going to get into tight spaces, that might be it. The scooter, the seat does move, does pivot, so you can, sit at a table and all that kind of stuff. However, I just found it more difficult to steer around because I'm in a facility, and so sometimes I have to get through or around tables and chairs, and sometimes around couches or other objects, and getting in and out of elevators. So that wasn't quite. I preferred much more the power wheelchair because it's just much more square, much more compact. I can turn around much easier with a power wheelchair, and I don't have to kind of go backward and forward to get through tight spaces. I can just spin around because my power wheelchair has a mid-wheel. It's a mid-wheel power wheelchair, so I can spin around in a dime. So that's the big difference for me. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there to help those who are looking at, okay, do I do a scooter? Do I do a power wheelchair? So what's the big difference? And the difference is in the design, really. And scooters are much longer. You steer with both hands, and you can have a basket and all that kind of stuff. But the power wheelchairs also, you can have your little pouches and things. Power wheelchairs, you steer with a joystick or other apparatus. It only takes one hand. The scooters will take both hands. You're steering like a little tiny motorcycle kind of situation. Scooters, they have 3 wheels or 4 wheels, and mine has 4 wheels, so of course it's going to take a little bit more to get around. I was fearful of 3-wheel because my balance is not very good, and just getting on and off just kind of gave me the jitters. The scooter I used was a second hand, third hand, I think. It was good, it was strong. I still have it as a backup, but it's difficult for me to steer, and I have muscle issues, so hands down for me was the power wheelchair. So I'm glad I chose that one versus the scooter. So folks, if you have experiences with scooters and power wheelchairs, put your comments down below. Share your experiences, and that might help somebody else, make a decision in terms of which one, power wheelchair or scooter. scooter, power wheelchair. So, and it really depends on your environment, I think, when you're making that choice. So your environments, if you're going out, if you're going out a lot, or how you're going to transport the scooter. Some of the scooters are pretty lightweight now, and you can take off the seat and just lift the rest of it and put it in your trunk. Others are a little bit more heavy duty, and you'll see the pictures there on the video of the scooters. So if you have any questions, further questions about scooters or the differences between scooters and power wheelchairs, put your questions down below. We'll be happy to answer. So take care and good luck in your choices. Bye-bye.